It's done it again. The intro didn't work. Do you know what? I'm going to run it. I am going to run it. I'm going to be adamant on this one. There we go, guys. Had to be done. I mean, not sure what keeps happening with the intros, but we are back. Spurs related. Hope you have had a good Friday. Friday feelings here. And it's back to the match previews with Jack and Andre. Jack and Andre, both of them. The man from Toronto and the man from London. We call it that. Firstly, let's welcome in Andre. It's been about, well, I can say a year, mate, because last time we saw you on the channel, I believe it was 2022.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's, I'm always glad to be here. I'm really happy to be back on the podcast for today. For most of you who don't know, I've just been really busy. School's a priority and all those things. But what I haven't missed is all the Tottenham things that have been happening, all the transfer news that's happened, all the games that we lost and drawed and won. And I gotta say, this Man City game, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into all things Man City in just a minute. We've got all the stats, the breakdowns, and obviously our thoughts on how the game's going to go. We'll welcome on the people in the chat in a minute. If you're in the chat, let us know. Put a little comment. And Jack's here as well. Jack, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad, James. Not too bad. Glad to have Andre back on our screens. I was going to say, Andre, where's the positivity? I thought we were going to come back and say we're going to win the league, but clearly you're not that positive. But no, it's good to have you back. And previews are back tonight. A big game this Sunday against Man City. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to dive straight into it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And yeah, if you guys are looking forward to the game on Sunday, let us know. If you're not looking forward to the game, let us know why, if you're confident or not. But as always, it used to be as always A&R's here. As always, Felix. As always, it is the new Spurs relatable at the moment that is not disappointing when it comes to joining the chat. So thanks for joining, your support, mate. Mill's in here saying "Been a minute, lads. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining, Mill." And he said, "Have I seen the Man from Toronto film?" I haven't, but maybe Andre has. I don't know.
Well, I will say that's a controversial one because James pronounced it exactly how they do in the movie, even though that's not how you pronounce Toronto. It's Toronto. It's Toronto, not Toronto.
Oh. But it's got a T in it. But anyway, that's another debate. Simply saying hello, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe. Big yourself up, mate. Always providing the support. Thank you very much. And if you do want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, a simple like button is absolutely appreciated and helps the algorithms massively. Smash the like button. It's free to do so. And subscribe. And we have got it sorted now. I don't know what happened, but you can use the little thanks button if you do want to help. Small donations are always welcome, or of any shape or size, but we understand the cost of living and everything else at the moment. It is a big, bad world out there. So please do not donate unless you can afford to do so and help us out. And it would be, amazing if you could. We can upgrade our equipment from me talking into this wide headphone to maybe, whatever you call them, the snowball mics, who knows? But no, anything's appreciated. But guys, let's talk about the game on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. First of all, I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to go Andre first. What are your first thoughts when you hear about Man City after we played them, 2 weeks ago? Not even that.
So this is what I mean. It's like I like to be realistic. Most of you know that. I love Tottenham, but I will never blindly be like, oh yeah, we'll win it. Like I want to have hope here, but after being 2-0 up and then losing 4-2 in the end, I'm obviously not very optimistic. But you never know. It is Conte. He has his ways. He got some players in, right? And who knows how important they might be. That is the crucial point here. Our right wing back position has been fixed. I mean, we'll see how it goes on his debut. And Danjuma played pretty well. Yeah, although it was, a lower league that we played against, he did come guns a-blazing. So let's see what he does. Maybe he'll play again. It's a good backup to have.
Yeah. You're right about Danjuma. Good start, obviously against Preston. Not too much of a challenge, but at the end of the day, did look bright when he came on. And as for that second half, like you mentioned, Andre, that was absolutely shambolic. And I was fuming. I wasn't buzzing that we were 2-0 up half time because I knew there was that potential to absolutely throw it away. But the way we capitulated the second half, especially the first 10, 15 minutes, was absolutely embarrassing beyond belief. I don't think any team, and I actually found out a stat for myself earlier, in the top 12 of the Premier League, we have conceded the most goals out of anyone. So that includes Brentford, that includes Brighton, that includes Crystal Palace. I mean, how we've conceded more goals than these clubs just tells you everything you need to know about the defensive ability of this team. I'll come to Jack in just a minute, but Emil said last time I tried calling the Spurs score, I said 3-2 Spurs. Unfortunately, realistically, I don't think it'll be a positive result this time round. I think you could be right, mate. I think you could be right. And as simply as saying our backline is going to get ripped apart by Haaland and co. Again, I'm trying to stay positive because I went negative the other day, but it's really hard to do so when I just get reminded about this defense. Like, it's in my head all the time. Jack, what are your thoughts on the game on Sunday?
You know me, James. I'm a realist, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to be positive, especially when Tottenham play Man City, as we've seen us have so much joy in the past. But is this game going to be one of those? We are at home. I'm hoping there'll be a bit of positivity, a bit of a buzz before the game, as we know the importance of catching up with Newcastle and Manchester United, trying to close the gap to get into top 4. And we know we've had luck against Man City in the past, but the attacking firepower they now possess in Erling Haaland and the creativity of Mahrez, even Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, the list goes on. They've managed to keep hold of Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, who's had joy against us in the past, as well as such a solid back line. We know it's going to be difficult, but we've got to believe. I think our system, especially with Antonio Conte, even with Jose, we seem to have luck against them because we soak up the press and our attacking firepower is fantastic. And Son and Kulusevski had so much joy last time round, and it could be a similar story today. But my main concern is our centre halves, because I think, especially if we play with high attacking fullbacks with Porro and potentially Perisic, they're not the best offensively. And my worry is that with Haaland, such a direct threat, and the creativity of Mahrez, potentially Foden, I've got to guess they'll play Jack Grealish. If they get that space in behind, every time that ball, Haaland's so good in the air, or they can cut back the ball to him. And with our defenders not being at the best of form at the minute, it's going to be really hard to keep them out. But then again, if we match them, we've got the attacking firepower to potentially get a good result. So it's a good game, especially if Tottenham turn up with the home advantage. I'm looking forward to this one from a neutral perspective. But if I'm a Tottenham fan, which I am a Tottenham fan right now.
I don't know what you're saying then. If you're a Tottenham fan, you completely lost me then, Jack. Well, looking from a neutral point of view. I was like,
if I was looking at it as a neutral fan, I'd be looking forward to the game because we know what Tottenham can bring. But being a Tottenham fan, I'm a bit worried that Man City are going to really turn up and really fight. We've seen Pep Guardiola come out all guns blazing in his interview, really showing his might and saying, we're still in this, and having a go at his players for going 2-0 down. They're going to come out the traps flying, and we've got to be careful. So as a Tottenham fan, not as a neutral fan, I'm extremely worried.
Well, see, I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I think there are two crucial things here, right? I got into this idea that if we ever win 1-0 down, I wasn't that worried because I knew that Conte always did something in that second half. He always changed something up to make it work, and we would, we'd win. We'd come back and we'd win. I don't know what's been happening recently, but one thing, not to point any fingers, but I just have to hope that Son has found his mojo again, because having him barely do anything these past, this whole season, really, other than a hat trick and a couple of, moments where
Premier League goals.
Yeah, he hasn't really. Goals. Yeah, he hasn't done much, and then one of them, I'm pretty sure, was an own goal, anyways. We've missed him, right? The team stays back because of Son, and if Son does not have his shooting boots on, the team will not stick back because Kane is not going to. He's not gonna be faster than the defenders.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit worrying about Son at the moment, but did very well in the FA Cup game against Preston. Could this be the start of the revival? Who knows? But certainly doesn't look quite right in the Premier League. Looks a lack
Sonny's
of
definitely
pace.
Man City's kryptonite, though. Let's not forget, if Son's on form, he absolutely plays his best football against Man City. He's so good with both feet. When he's got space to drive into and his first touch is on form, he's a nightmare to deal with. And I promise you, Man City defenders will still be worried, albeit Son's not been in good form. But let's hope Preston is the start of his revival almost. For me,
I hope so. He got a hat trick last time, and then look what happened. Then nothing happened.
Jack, the thing that concerns me is the part where you just said Son loves driving into space with both feet. At the moment, he doesn't look like he can drive his car. He has no drive. He has no sort of power in those legs. It's like he's run out in the tank. Even against Preston, he wasn't really running in, at full speed. He was kind of getting on the edge of the box, taking a couple of touches and banging it, wasn't he? He has a couple of nice.
But then again, that is one of Son's main quality. When I say driving into space, when he has space in behind for Man City, that works. But his close control and his ability to find that yard of space to then hit that shot, guide that shot into the top corner, either foot, I think that's his main ability. When I say driving into space, I say because he's got a good first touch, usually.
But I think the pace factor of that has gone. It's kind of concerning. Anyway, let's get to the chat. Camille said, I tell you what, given it's at home, if Spurs can bag a draw, you can't complain. Do you know what? I think this would be the worst result. Because it would help Arsenal and it doesn't help us. So, yeah. Simply Ace is saying if we go 1-0 down, the crowd will turn on the team. So the first goal is very important, I agree. And we will have the little ability to come back from losing positions. David saying, hi from Leicester. Hi, David. If we go in front again, we must change our tactics like Conte and Hoddle. Didn't do Hoddle 3-0 in front, lost 5-3. Conte 2-0 up, lost 4-2. I don't know if you're talking about the game I'm thinking about, but there was one in like 2003. I was very young at the time. And we literally bottled a 3-0 half-time lead against Man City in the FA Cup, and they had 10 men as well. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but my goodness.
I've heard this before, and that is absolute. Like, I can't believe that has happened twice now, basically. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Guys, stats, breakdowns. Let's talk about who the referee is. Let's talk about the head-to-head records. Who wants to take this one?
Well, I'm happy to. Andre's normally our stats man, but I'll take the reins on this one. Tottenham v Man City, 4:30 kickoff this Sunday. So very exciting. Injury news: Phil Foden could potentially be back, but he was carrying a slight foot injury. But good news for Tottenham, not for England. John Stones is injured and can potentially be out for a month. And I think he has been one of the best Premier League centre-backs. I would say top 2, maybe top 3 in the past 2 years. I think he's been outstanding. Who else? Lucas could be back, but he's definitely struggling with match fitness. He always seems to be carrying a slight injury. And there's also a hope Richarlison is set to return after a hamstring injury. So
Pepe Matasar will not play as well, apparently.
And Pepe Matasar. Okay, I've missed that one. But yeah, that's all your updates. Looks like Spurs, the medical team, clearly have started to work. And it seems like we've got most of our players back because we've been ridden with injuries over the past couple of months. And definitely having Richarlison back into the fold is a massive boost, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. I guess it would just really depend who comes in, right? Because I would think Kane, Son, Kulusevski start. But then it really just depends. If, let's say, Richarlison, Lucas, and Danjuma are all on the bench, who comes in first?
I've got a question for you guys, I think, which is slightly off topic. Do you think to deal with Manchester City's fantastic midfielders and creativity, would you switch to a free-in midfield and potentially have Basuma, Bentancur, and Højbjerg? Because Basuma plays his best in a free-in midfield, and I think he could really deal with Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and De Bruyne. Or do you think we need to play with our attacking firepower and go at Man City?
I think that I wouldn't. To have 3 midfielders, you need one of them to be super creative, and we do not have that right now.
You don't think Bentancur supplies the creativity?
He does, but not like attacking midfield type of creativity. That's just my point.
Yeah, I know what Andre's saying. I know what Andre's saying.
I do, yeah.
I was just laughing because you lot are trying to undo each other on the live stream about who's creative and not. And it's just, I don't know, made me laugh.
It's a debate. That's why we're back. I'm glad Andre's back. I think it's an important question. I agree with what he's saying, that we haven't got a direct number 10 potentially. And if you're playing 3 in the middle, you might want a number 10 and 2 up top as well. But no, what I would argue is, I can see both sides of the coin. If we're trying to stop Man City's attacking firepower, we could play a 3 in the middle, maybe drop Kulusevski in the 10 and drop Son and play Kane and Richarlison. But then again, there was so much space on the wings last time, and if we used it better and maybe Perisic scored at 2-2, it could have been a different story. But I just think it's interesting because we could be seeing a completely different Man City team, full of confidence and ready to prove a point. So I just wanted to see your thoughts.
Well, I think Man City always comes in with the exact same things that you just said. They're always full of confidence and ready to prove a point. So I just think it's about how Tottenham prepares, like both on the back line and on the front. The midfield, we already know what our midfield is. Usually 2 in the middle. You have one who's more defensive, like Højbjerg, and one who's got a bit of creativity, who also plays more of a CDM role, but more of a CM role, which would be Bentancur. And then it's about our front to see how they do. And then really in that second half, when the players start getting tired, when Conte decides to make his first substitution, that usually happens at the front or on the wing backs that are crucial, which one comes in first? If all 3 are available, Danjuma, Lucas, and Richarlison, which comes in first?
Richarlison or Danjuma?
Or both at the same time. I think it all depends on the score, to be honest. I think Richarlison's best position is centrally, and Stellini and Conte also said they see Danjuma playing in the number 10 or out wide. So that's also interesting, because if he thinks Danjuma can play in the 10, maybe they are looking at a change in formation, because you'd already argue we've got 2 fantastic strikers in Kane and Richarlison. So I wonder how that's going to play out. Maybe he sees Richarlison's future on the left as a direct Son replacement and Danjuma coming in. Lots of interesting things to depict for this game, but I do think Danjuma is going to be a good player and definitely a strong option on the bench. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring against a strong Man City side.
Is Pedro ready to play for us? You know?
Yeah, he's probably going to start as well, straight in.
You think so?
He'll be straight in, I'm sure.
I would think so. I think the entire window was based off of him, even though obviously Danjuma so far is looking like a decent acquiring. Pedro Porro was the guy that defined this window for us. The entire month we were discussing about getting him, and then in the end they paid the money that Sporting wanted.
My only slight concern would be is they've got fantastic wingers and they're so creative. Mahrez had an absolute field day against Perisic last time. Even Jack Grealish got a lot of joy on that left-hand side. Pairing him up against Pedro Porro, he's not the best defender. We know his qualities are in attack. So does he play a trusted defensive right wing back, not for us Spurs fans, but in Antonio Conte's eyes, in Emerson Royal, who scored and probably had one of his best games in a Spurs shirt against Man City last time out, albeit losing 4-2. Will he give him another chance? That's my only worry. I personally would start Pedro Porro. We've got to get some positivity around the club, and him and Kulusevski linking up on that right-hand side definitely supplies us with a much bigger threat. But I'm just thinking, is Conte going to think negatively and start Emerson Royal? I definitely wouldn't put that out of the question.
I think it's very much also depending on how their communication is between Romero and Pedro Porro. Because, Romero's usually on that right side in the center back position. I think that if they're communicating well, and when Pedro Porro's coming up, Kulusevski's maybe dropping in a bit, and Romero knows how to block those people, and Pedro Porro can come back quick, and he can handle that kind of intensity that Conte wants from his wing backs, then I don't see Emerson really starting very often anymore.
You'd like to see Pedro. So are we all in agreement that Pedro Porro is the man that should be starting this Sunday?
Yeah. But again, it all depends how he plays that first game, because, Sporting CP, I haven't really watched those games, obviously wing back role, but being a wing back for a Conte system, that is like the most crucial spot. The most crucial positions are those wing backs. So I hope he's got the mentality to handle it.
It's just quickly, last thing on the wing back situation, because we've been talking about it for a while, is don't forget, Conte never really plays with two high-flying wing-backs. Perisic, we know, has not been the best defensively this season. Yes, he's composed, but positioning, we even saw that against Manchester City when he failed to latch onto a pass, a crossfield ball. That's what allowed Mahrez to score. Pedro, Porro and Perisic, fantastic attacking-wise, but both of them, we know, go forward so much. Is he really going to trust his centre-backs that much? Because there's going to be a lot of space in behind, in my opinion, otherwise.
Yeah.
Interesting debate, guys. Let's go on to the comments quickly. Just wanted to move things on. Emil's asked, what was it? How do you think the news about Conte will affect the team? Obviously, Conte going unwell, had to have his gallbladder removed quite on an emergency basis. He's not going to be on the touchline, I believe, on Sunday, which is obviously good team news as well. Both him being poorly and, not correct me if I'm wrong, announcing he won't renew his contract at the end of the season. I think they're two separate points, Emil, but in terms of the team on Sunday, it's a shame he's not on the touchline. We need that passion. We need, he loves these kind of games and getting the team going. In terms of him being ill, I'm hoping he's going to be all right for the game after that, but I'm not sure.
There's rumours that he might be all right for this Sunday, just to keep everyone aware.
Yeah,
He would say in his press conference today that he's not sure. Health is his priority, everyone, as it should be for everyone. But there is still a chance that he could be on the touchline this Sunday. At worst, he should be in the stands, is what I've been reading, but we will have to see.
David, I think I know 2001. I remember. That one on the old Spurs bottling list. Louis saying, get ready to see Lloris Emerson. Not ideal. Spurs 2, Man City 2, Kane 1, someone. We'll come back from 2-0 down, says David. Probably a bad start and then a good second half. Coming from Leicester, I know Mahrez. You know him well. You know him in person, David. He doesn't like a physical game. You have to put one on him early, and he thinks he'll continue. He's sulking his game suffers. Don't let him have space. David, you should be on the touchline with Stellini telling him what for.
I agree.
Guys, what about some stats about, obviously, head-to-head? We've had a bit of luck against Man City recently. Any, stats that stick out for you, percentages or head-to-heads, or shall I go through the head-to-heads?
Well, all I know is that it's been very even. I think in the past, before this game, it was before the previous game, it was 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So definitely Man City's kryptonite in recent years, Tottenham. But they did get one on us last time, so they've now got the advantage overall. James, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do still believe they're going to be scared of Tottenham. Maybe not scared, but they're going to realise we've got the ability to beat Man City 100%. We've got the players, we've got the attacking firepower, and we've got the belief because we've done it on multiple occasions. So I'm really hoping the Spurs fans and the manager, whether that's Stellini or Conte, believe that.
Yeah, so 2021, we lost 3-0. That was when I think Davinson Sanchez flopped like a salmon.
And Gundogan, yeah.
Then they beat us 1-0 in the final of the EFL Cup. Then we beat them 1-0 first day of last season. Son scored outside the box. Then we beat them 3-2 away. That Scenes win. And then, of course, we lost 4-2 to them the other day. So lots of goals. The last 2 games alone have had 6 goals and 5 goals. I expect goals again. I'll give my score prediction, obviously, when we get round to it. But I just think defensively is going to let us down massively with that attack in Haaland, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish. They're going to cause some hell problems. I don't even want to imagine it. It was just painful that second half last time. And I think Pep's going to have learned a lot from watching them against us. He knew exactly what to say at half time. They're going to be ready from the go this time of what to expect from us. I think the only unpredictable side is maybe some of the players that didn't play last time. Hopefully Pedro Porro can have an impact. Let's see. But man, I'm not confident for this game. I'm going to be straight up with you guys now. I mean, I want to be pleasantly surprised come Sunday, but wow. Just being honest, guys, that's how I'm feeling. I don't know what everyone else is saying in the chat. Then we'll get around to it now, actually. Put your score predictions in the chat. What are you thinking for Sunday's game? The referee for Sunday is, in fact, Madley. Make of that as you will. So put your score predictions in the chat. Let's get them read out. Sukil's in here. Thanks for joining. Sukil says Spurs should win against Man City, Leicester win against Milan, West Ham and Chelsea. We'll win them all, mate. Simply Ace is saying we may have the attacking flair to beat Man City, but we have Dyer, Davy, Session, Emerson, Sanchez, Longley. Do you want me to continue the list or shall I stop there? Spurs are all remaining matches to see top four. Simply Ace is going for 5-2 Man City. That's the first score prediction. Guys, let us know what you think. Do you think we're going to do better than 5-2? I hope so. David said, just want to put our history in perspective. Since 1950, Spurs have played in the top league in England 72 years and only 1 year outside. Some clubs would love that history. David, I love your positivity tonight, mate. It is a bit more positive than normal. I love it. I love it. So it's time to go around the room, to be honest with you. I think it's that time. We'll start with Andre. Andre, score predictions for Sunday and why?
Okay, I'm going to go with 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw. I think that we're going to be 1-0 down in the first half. Cue all the Tottenham fans getting really angry. Conte's going to talk to them, as he always does. They're going to come back and they're going to score a goal. Then the defense is going to make a mistake somehow, one that we're all going to be like, what are you doing? And then they're going to score really easily. And then we're going to come back and save the game last minute. But is it really saving the game? 1 point for us and 2 points drop for Man City with Arsenal up there. You know, yeah. I feel like either we need to win or Man City needs to win, because I don't want to see Arsenal win the league. That's just,
and that's what I'm saying. A draw is perfect for Arsenal in a way. Like, it's perfect because we don't benefit from a draw, and they do. Both the fact that we're then struggling to get top four, and Man City dropped 2 points. It's the perfect result for them. I think a draw.
Exactly. So, and I think that Kane is going to score, and the other one is going to come from, I'm not sure which player, but it's going to be, I think,
Pedro Porro is going to score on his debut.
That would be cool. Imagine if it was 3-2, Pedro Porro scores the last minute goal somehow. That'd be crazy. But for now, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. It'll be Kane. It'll be, I'm going to say Højbjerg. He's got some random ones in there. And then Man City, I think Haaland is going to score one for sure. And possibly one of the midfield from outside the box are going to find a nice little pocket that we always tend to have, because we're the Swiss cheese defense right now. And it's going to go in. And then that's going to be it. 2-2 draw. That's my prediction.
There you go. Jack, your turn.
Well, Spurs fans, I'm not sure if they're going to like this or not like this, but this is going to be, I think, my first ever lost prediction on the channel.
We'll get him straight off.
Charming. Absolutely charming. Considering all the negativity from yourself recently, James. I'm actually going to go for a 3-2 Manchester City win. I'm expecting a good performance from Tottenham, and I think we are going to show that we have got the attacking firepower, but our defensive weakness is just going to overpower that once again, and Man City's incredible attack. So I'm going to say they're going to win 3-2, and I'm expecting Haaland, and I'm going to say Akanji's going to score, and I'm also going to give another goal for Mahrez. But I'm hoping in an improved Spurs performance, and hopefully I'm going to be wrong. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. So what was the score prediction?
3-2 to Manchester City.
3-2. David saying a late City winner will be ruled out by VAR.
Sterling.
Haaland can get a hat trick. De Bruyne and Mahrez for City. Bentancur and Kane for Spurs. Wow, really? I mean, 5-2. If you get that spot on, simply ace. Incredible. Spurs lead 2-0. Then do second half tiki taka. Alex saying love the channel. Alex, appreciate the support, bud.
What about your prediction?
You've gone 2-2. Jack's gone 3-2 for Man City, and I'm going to stick to what I really do think. And I'm honestly thinking that Spurs are just an unexpected machine. It's a social experiment, as we all know. You know, we've had terrible results this season. We've been absolutely gutted of losing against teams at home that we shouldn't. You know, and somehow our position of 5th is absolutely just unheard of. The fact that we almost are complaining like we're 10th, right? It's only because other teams are having worse season than us, like Liverpool, Chelsea, and the likes. But do you know what, lads? I fancy it. I fancy Pedro Porro to have an incredible debut and really cause him some problems.
Where's the come from
earlier? And I really do think, honestly, I really do think we're only going to lose 3-1.
Of course, I will.
So
3-1. Debate tonight. People should be.
Sorry, I'm gonna stick with what I think. It's a 3-1 loss, I'm afraid. I just don't think we're even near their level this year. I think last year we had that momentum going into the Etihad game, and we did obviously get battered by them. I think it was a great performance by Lloris, and actually defensively we were on our game that day. But the counter-attack was perfect. We haven't got the counter-attack going perfectly at the moment. Son doesn't look like he's got that pace to threaten on a counter-attack. Richarlison's not really got going off the bench. Kulusevski's obviously causing problems, but Kane then gets forced to drop deep. I just can't see it, lads. I can't see us scoring more than a goal, and I can see us conceding at least 2, if not 3, like I'm predicting. So 3-1, lads. I'm sorry. I want to be pleasantly surprised come Sunday, but I'm just preparing for the worst because that's just how I run. And Jack, I don't predict many losses on this channel. No, but this is one I'm really, really like, kind of, oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, that defense is not looking good right now. We've fixed one tiny little spot. There are still 3 other positions that need fixing in that back line.
Yeah, exactly. Højbjerg doesn't know to track back, and Sikil thinks play Basuma over Højbjerg. How many games have we played well in? Not many. Yeah, exactly. Guys, anyone else that hasn't put their score prediction in the chat, do so already. Or if you're watching on repeat, please do whack it in the comments below and let us know. I do like replying to the comments offline as well. The biggest downer is that Bentancur, Kulusevski are not match fit. These guys are probably playing at 90% right now. That is a very good point.
Better to have them than not. I definitely think they're our most important players, certainly in the recent games. So it's gonna be good to have them on the pitch. Obviously, we want them at full fitness, but they've been so integral to our success this year. So we definitely need them on that pitch.
Exactly. Okay, let's quickly go through the players to watch for Manchester City. I mean, other than every single one of them, first of all, we have to talk about Haaland. The guy is an absolute robot. He's an absolute machine. Is it 24 Premier League goals already beaten last season's Golden Boot record from Son and Salah? Not a record, but, you know, the Golden Boot winner last season within 20 games. Incredible. He's on 25 goals, 3 assists. I mean, Man City have only played 20 games, to put it in perspective. So he scored 25 goals in 20 games. I'm pretty sure he missed a game. How do you stop this guy?
Oh, that's the question, James. I think he's just been like a robotic this season. He's been absolutely outstanding. He's so fast. He's fantastic in the air, good close control, and just a wonder of a left foot that just has so much power behind it. The question is, well, exactly how do you stop him? And I think teams have done well when they've really got tight to him, but it's almost like you've got to double up on him. He's that good. And can we afford to do that when they've got so many other good attacking players as well? I'm not sure if we can. We kept him relatively quiet, in my opinion, when we played him last time. Still managed to get on the score sheet to make it 2-2. So he's just fantastic. And I think we've got to get tight to him, be strong in the challenge, and really let him know that we're not afraid of him, because he's been so good that most teams have he's managed to get in behind. You can't stop him. You can't keep up with him. And most of the time when he's one-on-one in goal, he's going to find that back of the net. So we've got to reduce as many chances as possible. And just believe it at what we're sometimes good at. When we play Man City, we're sometimes defensive resolute. But in recent times, it's almost looked impossible to stop him.
Well, I was going to say something similar. You don't really stop Haaland. That guy's a machine. If you let that midfield pass the ball forward for him, he's going to outpace our defense and score a goal. So what needs to actually happen is our team needs to stop making really, really shoddy passes where they lose possession in the midfield. It tends to happen all the time that we get backed into the corner. The wing backs don't know what to do. They start doing long balls to nobody, and then the other team gets the ball. The last time I watched the Tottenham game, not the Preston one, but the one before that, we could not string 3 passes together before losing the ball. That needs to change, especially against a team like Man City, where the minute they get the ball, if they can get that to Haaland, that might be a goal. Like, it's a very high chance it's going to be one. So we need to keep that possession and stop letting ourselves get cornered. At least the nice thing is that if Pedro Porro really is up for the challenge, he won't be getting back into a corner. So that right side is crucial. So Kulusevski, I hope that he is also, in a much better match fitness as well.
I think David's made a fantastic point there. I couldn't think of it myself, and he's absolutely smashed it. I think it is all about stopping the creativity in the midfield. When Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva are supplying him pinpoint crosses every time, or just finding him that yard of space where he can just shift it onto his left foot and finish. We really need to try and stop the supply. I think he's spot on, David, with that. So fantastic points, because I think their whole team as a whole it's just amazing. Like, in my opinion, definitely the best squad in the Premier League, and they're going to be right behind Arsenal for the whole way.
Yeah, no, man, that's basically just adding on to what I said, right? If we keep losing that ball, if we can't string 3 passes together before losing the ball in the midfield specifically, where they basically just look for Haaland and provide him service, we're going to lose. So
yeah. So that's one. I mean, the obvious one. Then do you pick the other 2 for the top 3 picks? Is it De Bruyne? Is it Mahrez? Is it Bernardo Silva, Grealish, or is it a defensive player? Obviously, a weird one, João Cancelo going on loan to Bayern Munich. Something went wrong there between Pep and him. Definitely a falling out, and that's probably the most unexpected transfer I've seen in a long time. Letting probably your best defensive fullback go out on loan. Very odd one. They started playing this youngster, Lewis, is it?
Yeah.
He did well against us in that other game. But who's your other 2 ones to watch, guys? I'll start with Andre.
Well, I would say you might as well just go for the obvious ones, Mahrez and De Bruyne. I think that obviously both of them, Mahrez likes to take that in. He likes to take a shot, right? He likes to have a crack at it. He's going to want to get into a good position and try and score. But he's also not afraid to just give that to Haaland, right? That I'm pretty sure that was one of the goals in the last one. He just passed it to Haaland, and Haaland easy header in. And other than that, the rest of the time it was Dyer and all of the defense trying their best to stop Haaland from running past them, because all Man City would do is string some passes off of us losing possession because we can't string 3 passes together, and then trying to get it to Haaland. So I think those 3 that's just what it is. It's the best 3 they have.
Yep. Good points there, Andre, and good points from Sukil and Siblier. Siblier saying, got surprised me, we can't hold on to the ball. Only Bentancur and Kulusevski can, and Kane this season. And Sukil saying, if we win the toss, maybe we go for the start, maybe attack towards the big end, the home end. Could also help potentially. Goalkeeper does not make any mistakes for Sunday match. We need no Lloris mistakes. Jack, who are you picking? Obviously, Andre's gone Haaland, De Bruyne, and Mahrez. Who are you going?
To be honest, that was my choices I mentioned earlier on. But there's so many players that I could pick anyone. But if I'm going to go for a player that has had good previous games against Spurs, I'm actually going to go for İlkay Gundogan. He just seems to play fantastic. Always comes out with a goal. I remember when, like you said, I think Sanchez face planted because Gundogan pulled the ball out of the sky, fancy footwork, and nicely slotted it into the back of the net. I think he was definitely one of the best Premier League players at that time in the league. He was extremely good, and I think he's such a fantastic player, good defensively, great on the ball, keeps the tempo high, and knows where the back of the net is. Basically, the all-round perfect midfielder. And when you pair him with someone like Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, he just, the list goes on. So, in my opinion, he's definitely one to look out for. Always plays well against Spurs, but I could have named anyone. Even Rico Lewis, I've been very impressed with in recent matches. So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. Guys, that is all we have time for today. As much as we were trying to be positive about the result, one of us has predicted a draw. Andre is probably the most positive tonight. Myself and Jack have gone for a loss. But guys, if you do watch this video offline, do let us know if you do think Spurs can do it. And before you all dart out of here, please, please, please hit that like button. It's free to do so. It's just down there below your video. And subscribe if you're new watching. Share it with your friends. Let them know about us. We really are trying to push towards 2K now again. And we are pretty much uploading every day at the moment. It has been a lot of videos going out there. So appreciate all the support that's going into the videos, all the comments. And of course, like I said earlier, if you can afford to do so and you do want to help out the channel in any way, shape or form, there is a thanks button, which is a super chat option, as well as the memberships that we have implemented as well. All completely forgotten the word. Non-compulsory. I've had a blank. It's Friday. Let me off. But any support is appreciated. So we do appreciate all of it. But if you can it's completely free, and we do massively appreciate that. It helps the algorithms. Guys, enjoy the game. Andre, Jack, as well. Enjoy the game if you can.
I'm gonna try.
Let's all hope we're doing a nice match review after the game with nice positivity and of
hopefully
course
a good vlog. Hopefully
Jack,
a good vlog. Hopefully I can bring you some positivity and some match footage as well as the journey on the train, because it's always a good day at the Spurs. Hopefully it's a good result to follow that. So I will bring you that. And yeah, anything, put it in the comments if there's anything missing from the vlogs that would like to be included. Maybe the journey up there, maybe some more food reviews, whatever you fancy. Let us know, and we will we'll try to sort it out for you.
Great stuff. And yeah, expect the vlog, expect the match review. It's all back, guys. So do get over here after the game to let us know your thoughts on the game after it. So expect that live at the weekend at about 6:30. We'll go live. Definitely myself, potentially Andre as well. Jack will obviously be providing the vlog. Guys, as I said before, enjoy the game. And remember, as always, come on, you Spurs!